Hey, Dash, give me a fight time.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. What the hell was that? What is going on out there? Oh my God! Hide your mid laners!
All right. Okay, so it's a war zone out here.
Oh my God. Broxa. Team Liquid arrived in style today in their special edition Honda. We'll see if Broxa will win out in his LCS premiere versus Immortals. Wags and Walks, they ran an adoption drive at the LCS today where we answer an age-old question first posed by Ansem Douglas. It was us. We let the dogs out. That's very right here at the LCS. It is dog day. Look at those little puppers. Oh, Celestine. Star Guardian Celestine, she just exited the set.
The producers were 1 second late.
Oh, we had her for like a minute.
There we go. Dog day on the LCS is a good day. It's a good day to be a dog, good day to be an LCS host. I can tell you that much. Welcome to the LCS Countdown for 30 minutes. We are going to treat you to Cloud9 versus TSM and wolf down some player Valentines until the timer reaches 0 and we jump into Champion Select. Now, tickets for the spring finals in Frisco, Texas go on sale next week, so make sure you get your seat before we head down south. Tickets go on sale, or go live rather, on Friday, February 21st at 10 a.m. PST. That's noon for those of you in Texas via SeatGeek.com. Get the exact purchase URL from the 2020 LCS Spring Finals article on lolesports.com. We've got a while till we giddy on up to Frisco, but if you look at the standings, Cloud9 is still in first. That was spelled F-U-R-S-T in the prompter,
First.
so you all know. First. While Immortals and TSM, they're 2 games behind from being top dog. Evil Geniuses, FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, and Team Liquid, they're having a rough time going at it in 7th, while CLG is still in the doghouse at 10th. We'll see who can possibly change their place in the standings with our matches today. First up, the new dog on the block, Broxa, faces off against the jungler he replaced with Xmithy in Team Liquid versus Immortals. Then game 2, we'll have the fans howling as Cloud9 and TSM face off with 2 more tussles until we close things out with our Academy Showcase. If you have President's Day off, go ahead and join us here for Monday Night League, where we bring you the final 2 matches of the week with Cody Sun, Papa, Smithy, Meteos, and Nadeshot all joining the Bud Light League Lounge to close out the week, and that's quite a lineup. Now, earlier this week, I got a chance to talk to Licorice, who said TSM could be the team that gives C9 a challenge. Who are the teams that you're most afraid of, that you feel are going to give you the most trouble, your biggest competition at the moment?
The biggest competition at the moment, I think TSM is actually looking like
you're playing them this week.
They're shaping up to be pretty strong, yeah. Yeah, for now, TSM.
TSM, there it is. All right, it's a 2-horse race. For Cloud9 versus TSM, what are the most important matchups we're looking at here today, guys?
So I said this during JLXP, but I feel like the jungle matchup is going to be the most important for me if TSM is going to win. So for me, Blabber was kind of my 6-game-in MVP, but Dardoch has been extremely effective in a lot of early games, and since C9 has never really played from behind at all, if Dardoch can pull off something impressive in this game, that would give TSM a chance.
I think it's one of those things, too. When you look at the stats, Blabber looks like the clear better of the 2.
He's been incredible.
But it's the most team-dependent role, so when you're smashing and you're 6-0 and you have a 30-minute game time average, you're going to look way, 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 way better than any competition. But I think Dardoch has a very similar mentality. He wants to make a lot of plays. He's very aggressive. He has the mechanics to back it up, which I think makes him one of the best candidates in the league for actually stopping Blabber in his tracks.
And I mean, for junglers, they gotta go somewhere, right? And I gotta say, I think for TSM especially, they're gonna be wanting to go into that top lane.
Yeah.
I wanted to press
you wanted?
button.
Sorry, I stole it from you.
Yeah.
Stark is the one who made it.
I just love the button.
Better luck.
So yeah, a big part of Broken Blade especially is TSM's draft. They've had flex picks between top and jungle, and technically mid lane was set. So I really like the position they're putting themselves in, where Broken Blade actually has a chance to play these kind of carries, and that's very different than other teams in the league.
And I think they need to do that too, just because when you see how dominant Licorice has been in the top lane with Monster CSD, just incredible KDA, all this stuff, he has high forward percentage as well. Like, it does make it where you feel like you need a trick of some kind. You need some move that's going to give you an advantage before you get into the game. And that's why I think your point about the draft is really important.
Kill participation and damage percentage are interesting to me because it, to some degree, speaks to maybe Broken Blade being a little bit more a part of the team's success.
I mean, especially last week with the Kiana game, when your mid laner's playing Ornn, your damage percentage is going to go up a little bit.
Yeah.
It does show a willingness of TSM to play around Broken Blade, whereas they actually have mainly played around mid and bot when we look at C9. Licorice has been extremely effective on an island, so they have played around these players a little differently.
I also love your point, and even the one you kind of just added to there, the idea of TSM's flexibility in draft, but I wonder how that can be utilized effectively against a team like Cloud9.
I mean, it's really tough because Cloud9's really strong, and Reaper is a really good coach, I think. In that shot, Licorice was talking about how he does a good job of setting his players up, but I do think the most important thing you can do is there's on a new patch, and so there's going to be new picks that people are prioritizing. I think if TSM can find some of these, you can now target ban a little bit heavier. They're on red side, they'll have counter pick. I hope that they do one of those things where they pick a couple in the first phase, some of these potential flex picks, and then be able to get them into the right lane matchups in the second half.
That's a big ticket matchup coming in game 2 of the day, so stay tuned for that one. MasterCard, though, is giving away a trip to the spring finals. There are 2 ways to win. Either purchase RP using your MasterCard or save that card in the league client. Both ways automatically enter you to win. Get that set up during the break, and we'll catch you back here for more Countdown. See you soon. Welcome back to the LCS Countdown, where we are nearing game 1 of the day, and we still have puppies. That's the best part. An exciting part of today's dog festivities is all the dog food that we have. So what I'm going to do is have my analysts try... Oh, wait a second. Yeah? Oh, no. Okay, well, I'm receiving some breaking news. We are going to send this over to Kobe for the report. Kobe, fill us in.
Yeah, thanks, Ash. I've been following Broxa all day, and I can confirm he's in the Team Liquid training room right now. They're warming up, and they've been talking strategy. I think, here, thanking the enemy mid laner? I don't know, but he went and got coffee a couple of minutes ago from the players' lounge. We're being told we can't film here right now, Dash, so I'm gonna go find another angle on Broxa, and we're gonna keep track of his movements. I'll check back in later.
Thanking the enemy mid laner would be an interesting tactical strategy for day 1
I think
for
it's
Broxa.
the all chat, you know, when you kill him.
Oh,
thank you.
And thank Mr. Broxa. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Classic. Well, as it is our jobs to analyze every waking moment of these players' competitive experience, it's only natural we might develop a certain affinity for the player or the other, you know. So I'm giving the analysts a chance to pick their player Valentines. Who have you brought for me today?
Okay, for me, I want to pair up with the Altec. I feel like he has quietly had a great reemergence back into the LCS. And if you're a shallow person, you don't want to dig too deep. I know a lot of people love stopping at lane stats. I understand his CSD in lane is not great. But if you can look past that, you'll find a beautiful man within. He has great stats in pretty much every other category, top 4 across the board almost. This is answering the question of what people had about Immortals, which was who is going to be able to step up and carry. Altec's actually done a great job. He has a unique champion pool as well. Haven't picked up any wins on the Cassiopeia, but it's very interesting that he's able to do that. And so I think he has had almost as good of a reemergence as you could have hoped for.
Reliable Valentine.
He's a great. He's more than that. He's great. He's a great Valentine. Why are you putting down my Valentine?
I'm not. I think reliability is a great trait.
All right, who's your Valentine?
My Valentine is Niski because he does the little things in a successful team.
Okay.
His mid lane his team proximity from the mid lane is the highest in the league. Trying to get close to him. I mean, Niski will just do that for you. He's the one who brings everyone together. He spams flash timers in team chat.
He spams Twitch chat as well.
Yeah, he's very chatty. He's not willing to sacrifice the team for himself. He's much more willing to sacrifice himself for the team. And I think it's a big part of C9's success. When everyone's pointing to Blabber and Licorice and Sven, I think Niski's been great.
He's just a social climber. You just picked the most successful
look at
team,
the stats.
and you picked the most
All right,
important
I
role
didn't
on the
pick
most.
Faker as my Valentine. Like,
That's good. At least you know you have no shot versus Faker. Niski is within
But
your.
for the record, you would have chosen Faker if you were allowed.
I mean, who
to.
wouldn't?
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
You hear that, Niski? You hear that? You would take
can't-
Faker.
Your
Yes,
second
that's
choice. Your second fiddle. All right, Prolly, who's your Valentine?
So I'm not as confident as these guys on the couch. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna anonymously submit my Valentine to Broken Blade. I think he's been secretly doing really well on TSM. They're on a climb 4-0, but I'm not confident enough to give him the I love you heart candy yet. But so far, he's like highest goal difference at 10 amongst top laners, plus over 300. That's pretty big. That's about a kill. I think if every lane had that similarity, they would be like a pretty dominating team.
Smash.
And then another small thing is his damage share is really high.
Yeah.
And for a top laner, his like gold share is kind of low. So that like kind of difference between like how many resources he's pulling and how much damage he's doing is it's pretty attractive to me.
Why's it got to be secret though? Why are you doing this anonymously?
I just don't have.
You don't have the
I don't have the confidence
He
yet.
used to write a letter and submit
Right.
it.
Yeah, I'll put it in his locker later.
Well, those are your Valentines. Let me introduce you to mine right here. Appa, this beautiful
Easy
puppy,
choice.
is my Valentine for the day. We are going to step away, but as we go, we've got Avali's artistic interpretation of today's match 4. Let's take a look. Hey, welcome back to the LCS Countdown, where we are about 13 minutes away from that first game of the day, playing a little fetch in our downtime. I know what's been on your minds, but, oh, wait a second. Again, more breaking news.
More breaking news.
Gentlemen, this
Wow.
is big news. This is big news. Let's go back over to Kobe for another update.
Thanks, Ash. I'm here where Broxa just got his peripherals out of this very case. They headed up onto stage, and it was a smooth transition, grabbing their water bottles, their Red Bulls. They're completely ready for this game. Everyone's excited with his arrival, and the fans are going nuts. The energy down here is palpable. This is like nothing I've ever seen before in my 200 years of collective casting experience. Obviously, we will keep you up to date on this developing story. For now, back to you, Dash.
I don't know how palpable that energy was.
I heard it.
You couldn't feel that? I felt it.
Mark.
Felt it. It was
Sorry, I
heavy
must
hitting.
earpiece.
Be
Be safe out there, Kobe. We appreciate you doing that very dangerous work of being out in the field to track all of our incoming players' progress. If you need the 101, though, on Team Liquid's new jungler, Riv has got you covered in Broxa Oversimplified.
It's time to brush up on your Broxa, so get your pencils out for a TLDR on the LCS's newest Danish terror. Broxa was playing with the Fnatic Academy team until the 2017 spring split when he moved up to the main roster, and it turns out he was pretty good. Actually, he was really good. Fnatic hit their stride and dethroned G2 to take the 2018 Summer Split Championship before going on to play in the World Finals in Beijing. They didn't win, but Broxa is still really good. As a matter of fact, the following year they made it to the World Quarterfinals in 2019. Did I mention Broxa is good? This has been Broxa Oversimplified.
Well, when it comes to game one, it's hard, rather, to not sympathize with the amount of pressure on Broxa's shoulders, even if it's not all on him. He isn't. What? What do you want from me?
How can you flub?
What do you expect me to do?
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ignore puppy love, okay? He joins a championship team that's in a slump, right? But all eyes are on him, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah. I mean, especially because game one is against Immortals, who are 4-2 right now under the guidance of Smithy, the man he's supposed to replace. And so there's all these problems with Team Liquid that we're seeing, not just with Surenfire. You're going in without much practice. You got here 2 days ago. We heard 2 scrim sets total, basically.
Yeah, if that.
If that. So you have to instantly try and fix Team Liquid. You have to go up against the guy you're replacing, and you have to do it with no time.
And the thing with the Mortals is they are very surprisingly sitting at 4-2, and if they win this one, would move to 5-2, which would give them temporary sole possession of second place. So, like, yeah, sure, this is 2019 summer regular season stats, and when you saw that, like, Xmithy was a very reliable jungler for this team. He has a much different role on this Immortal squad.
Yeah, but right now, you know what Broxa's been doing? He's been studying Immortals gameplay, Smithy's pathing. Who's been studying Broxa's gameplay and Broxa's pathing?
Right?
No
There's
one.
no evidence.
No one.
What, have you been watching him play?
Hey, you're not going to go back to
solo queue?
2019 watching it. You're like, new jungle? How's he play? We don't know.
That's a
Yeah,
very
that's
good
the
point.
problem. Team Liquid doesn't know yet either.
Oh.
That's the advantage.
I don't know.
Both are walking into it very impromptu.
So who, if it's an advantage, who's favored there?
Oh, Team Liquid.
Okay.
Because at least they can hear him talk. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over here. Why? I don't know. This is the way I'm going.
Well, the weird thing too is like normally I would be like, oh, it's an advantage for Team Liquid's bot lane. They're supposed to be the best in the league, but they got smashed in their previous game by Golden Guardians bot lane. The fact that Hakuho and Alltech have been doing really well, they're doing really well.
Yeah.
It's not as, like, these advantages that TL should have are not nearly as pronounced as they should be, which makes me more concerned with Broxa coming in. It's not like, oh, we've upgraded jungle, but also Double Faction needs to start playing well. And Impact can't get solo killed by Soaz, who beat Someday, and Someday beat the crap out of Impact.
Yeah.
Not quite transitive property, but
I mean, how would you expect Broxa to play in TL? What is Broxa's, perfected role within the team that Smithy wasn't able to fill before?
I mean, I think it's about mid-jungle synergy. They need to draft powerful mid-jungle 2v2s. They need to let Broxa invade Xmithy as much as possible, and they need to take over the map that way against Ica and Xmithy. That's what they're hoping to build towards. It's just a matter of, with, 10 hours worth of scrims, if they can pull it off on stage.
I mean, hopefully they lean on Jensen for that because it is.
Yeah.
Ica hasn't been terrible, but I still would put him in the bottom half of the league. And so if anyone's going to step up and have a good performance on Brox's debut, I think Jensen having a good time in the mid lane would help immensely because then they can spill that over easier than if he's stuck in the mid lane just 1v1ing the entire time.
So then expecting Broxa's role to be, shoring up some mid-jungle synergy, and if he does go there this game, what is the response from Xmithy? Does he have to match it to protect Ica, or do we expect him to kind of more play true to his old tendencies and go to the side lanes?
Well, I mean, Xmithy has a much easier job than Broxa right now because he actually had time to build synergy with his laners and stuff like that. Broxa, on the other hand, is going to be pretty much playing purely off of his own fundamentals and understanding of the game. So like, I don't think Smithy's gonna have to focus on outplaying Broxa that much, as more like, he needs to get himself into a situation where they can 2v2 the jungle and the mid laner, so they can actually expose, this brand new roster that's playing together.
Fair enough, fair enough. Any other thoughts on Dash is just playing? Sorry, I have a Dino Gnar that I'm having a wrestling match with right now. So, I mean, Team Liquid Immortals, let's move away from the junglers, and let's maybe talk about what Team Liquid can do to make Brox's job easier, given the fact that he's coming in with all this expectation, but we're kind of recognizing the fact that that's unrealistic.
Yeah, I mean, we got a chance to catch up with Dodo and Kane about 40 minutes ago, and they talked a little bit about what their expectations are. And like long term, they want Broxa to kind of be like the second core JJ in the team, a steadying presence when things are going well or not well. And I'm looking to see, like, they don't expect that to happen this week. They maybe don't even expect that to happen next week. Obviously, it would be nice if it happened right off the bat, but I think the overall mentality of the team should be improved now that they have their full roster together. So I'm kind of expecting the biggest improvements from Team Liquid for the rest of the split to not necessarily look like it's coming from the jungle. I'm almost just thinking, hey, now that they have the mindset that everyone's here, they're just going to be able to perform better.
Something's going to start working.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, that can be hard to nail down at times. On mentality, though, for more on how the team is feeling heading into week 4, here's Jensen, fresh off their week 3 loss.
I think I've definitely felt more stressful situations throughout my career. Like getting benched, first year on Cloud9, where we barely made Worlds. But this one feels the most difficult in a way, because I feel like I'm playing really well, and I feel like I'm putting in as much effort as I can, and I don't know what there is for me to change. In the past it was like, oh, I could see, I'm not playing well, like I've been lazy, but this time around, like I feel like I'm doing everything I can, and it's just not working. So it's just, I don't know what there is to do for me at this point. I don't know what I can do better, or I don't even feel like I can try harder. Like I feel like right now I'm doing the very best I can, and it's just not working out for us.
I mean, this fresh off of a loss from week 3, so you can see some of the disappointment there in Jensen. But I do now want to kind of turn to a cool opportunity we had to talk to both Kane and Dodo backstage, just moments ago, to get the more, kind of present look within the team.
Right, and I think one thing that happens, I know I'm guilty of it, and I think a lot of fans and people are too, is you see Doublelift, who's the most vocal member of Team Liquid's, giving his opinion, and we often associate that with all of Team Liquid's opinion, and we've heard things from Doublelift about, I hate Senna, she sucks, or Spring Split doesn't matter, and you start to think that maybe the whole team thinks that way, but like you can see in that Jensen saw it, he still really cares about their performance right now. And we've heard from Dodo, I heard from Steve, they have a different opinion where they're like, Doublelift is not all of Team Liquid.
Right.
And he has his opinions, and that's fine, but the rest of the team has theirs as well. And I think that's one thing to keep in mind with all this stuff that's going on is there's more personalities at play, and Jensen there you see very upset about losing the Golden Guardians.
I think he wants to have a pop-off performance today.
Yeah,
this is an opportunity for him to really show something.
And it would be the way to introduce Broxa is to have a kind of a pop-off performance like that. It is important to note that they did also mention, though, that loss last week was pretty big hit for Doublelift as well, right? So whereas before he may have been, profiting, that it didn't matter as much in spring, he does care now.
Doublelift has been the best AD carry in NA for probably 4 years, and everyone's constantly told him that. And then Keith Thresh first bloods him.
Right.
Like, actually Keith Thresh first bloods him in his 7th all-time LCS game. Like, yeah, that's going to be a wake-up call, Doublelift.
Yep,
so
all right.
We'll see.
All right, so it's a put or shut up day here for Team Liquid. Time to turn to some win conditions for that first game of the day. Jat, I'm coming to you for Immortals win condition.
Yeah, so I think for Immortals to win, they need to pry off the fact that Broxa hasn't played with the team for that long, so I want them to have a strong level 1 draft and invade Broxa, because the teamwork required to set up proper invade wards and communication to make it so he has a good start, I don't think is going to be there. So I want Immortals to have a very strong level 1 strategy. And then the last thing is a little bit different. I want them to play the 10.3 picks. So I'm talking about Yuumi support, I'm talking about a Soraka or maybe a Sona top, the stuff other people haven't reached for because they're comfortable with what they're working on. I don't know if they've been practicing that stuff, but I think they should be.
All right, if they are, we'd like to see it. Probably coming to you for TL's win conditions with Broxa in the lineup.
I mean, I will say Broxa came from Fnatic, who had great level 1, so I doubt they're going to exploit him level 1. So for Team Liquid today, what I want to see Broxa do is, it's Valentine's weekend, hold hands with your bot lane. This is how TL used to win, so at least they have a good idea of where to go, and I think on Fnatic, Broxa did very similar things where he knows how to play through bot lane. So I want to start seeing that. And then at the same time, Immortals wins aren't the prettiest. So if I'm TL, I'm gonna be like, all right, play off of our fundamentals. We don't need to have crazy games and go by the book.
All right, buy the book today for Team Liquid. We'll see if that works for them. Before we head into our predictions for the day, we had some of man's best friends weigh in on the matches today with our own set of doggy predictions.
All right, they predict all 4 games.
All right, Team Liquid, good
TL.
choice, Corgi.
Yeah.
Okay,
How do
yeah.
they know?
All right, Celestine, well done.
Appa?
Ooh, Appa. TSM is the
upset.
call. Handing
That
the
looked like
first
that was
loss
kinda
ever
guided.
to C9. Yeah. Let's
Okay.
go.
Golden Guardian.
I mean,
All right.
that
BMO.
makes sense.
BMO is a Golden Guardians fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty.
Oh,
Kaisa, where are you going,
More
Kaisa?
interested in going-
Whoa,
Yeah.
100 Thieves, 100 Thieves. All right. That's a close matchup there at the end of the day.
they're
We
both
spent a lot of time
great.
talking about the first 2. We shouldn't ignore that one that comes there at the end of the day.
This is
You
one
did
where
good.
the dogs
You did
can
Yeah, well
definitely
predicted,
outpredict
bud.
the analysts. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, these are some pretty
Little
close
buzz, buzz,
games.
buzz. Little
Yeah.
BMO.
Can we change our predictions now?
You want
Yeah.
to change your predictions?
I just want to do the same
What do you
for
think?
dogs.
Yeah,
Which,
so I
which
don't
dog
lose.
convinced you otherwise?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just want the
Hun's
same.
right there.
Same
He's so
predictions of the
confident.
dogs. Well, let's see what
Yeah.
you guys go ahead predicted for the day. Did you align?
Yeah, we're pretty
Dogs?
close to
Okay.
the dogs.
All right, well, no one went for
COG.
TSM.
I'm the only
Appa,
one
you're
who's
all
still-
alone in your
Okay.
TSM
I thought
predictions.
someone
but
was going to go for Immortals.
I thought Immortals. and
I thought
also
I was being kind of edgy.
who did you think was going to go for Immortals between these 2?
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
probably
I
does seem like
last
the kind
week
of
I'm
guy.
like, no way. When Broxa comes in, they won't have much practice, but they're gonna have so much vigor going into the game and energy.
I do think.
Right, could you see them losing their second game of the week?
Oh yeah, for
Right.
sure. But this first game, no,
They're just
this is
going to
gonna
come
be
out hard.
Yeah, they're
I
coming out.
get that.
I think that game was close. I thought even the 100 Thieves dig. I thought someone would have gone 100 Thieves because dig
Yeah.
was a little shaky last
I was a
week.
little surprised by that one as well.
I was
The,
back and forth on the COG Golden Guardians one, but I'm giving my faith to the Golden Guardians right now.
Well, CLG, they were close to 2-0. I know close doesn't get you much.
Right.
But in the game they lost against Immortals was a very crazy game.
I'm just watching
They don't
Mark.
see the
Mark-
dog camera. You're
I was
just-
like,
So you
Very excited. Jazz hands.
Pop some hands.
You gonna throw the ball?
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, well, we have like a minute left to play with puppies. Appa!
Yeah.
You're bright, man.
I mean,
Come here. I need my watch partner. We're about to watch some League of Legends. Y'all want to watch some League? Come here, Appa. Yeah. Let's
there's a
watch
lot
some
of
League
hype going
Legends
into the
today.
weekend. Like the
Shall we?
first 2 games of today are awesome.
Oh, they're so
Right?
sick.
Like
they're so sick.
Just the storylines that are going to be generated, whether or not Broxa succeeds, and what happens in C9. Like if C9 goes to 7-0 versus if TSM is able to upset them. Like
And
this is-
Sven beats his
Hey.
old team as well.
Yeah.
A lot of old grudge matches coming up.
Grab the popcorn, grab the doggy treats, and let's head out to the battle arena for the call.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
our
I'm Clayton
dog?
Captain Flowers Reigns. We don't have one, man. This is Sam Kobe Hardman Kinsler. Unfortunately, we were not allowed to turn this into a tri-cast with a fluffy friend here today. Believe me, I did ask, but not in the cards just yet. Maybe for 2021. But here today, we're about ready to jump into week number 4. Team Liquid, Immortals. It's time. Brox is here.
Yeah, Broxa is here just in time to play against Team Liquid's old jungler, Xsmithy. Super excited to see this one rack up. And honestly, heading into this is a